Have you ever woken up feeling like your legs just aren't as strong as they used to be? It's a quiet truth many of us face as we get older. Our legs begin to weaken without us even realizing it, slowly stealing the confidence in every step we take. I've been there myself, waking up some mornings wondering why standing felt harder, why balance seemed more fragile. It's frustrating and a little scary, but you're not alone in this. The good news is, it doesn't have to be this way. There's a gentle, simple way to help your legs regain their strength without complicated workouts or expensive supplements. Just by changing what you eat for breakfast, you can make a real difference. It's a small shift, but it's powerful. Something most people overlook every morning. In this video, I'm going to share 5 easy-to-find breakfast foods that have been shown to prevent muscle loss and improve balance after 60. These foods aren't just nourishing, they're the secret to keeping your independence and walking confidently, even as the years go by. So, what's on your breakfast plate tomorrow? I'd love to hear what you're willing to try. Remember, you deserve to live well and strong every day. Let's take that step together. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. Now, let's begin. Breakfast food 1. Whole eggs. When was the last time you truly tasted a simple boiled egg? Paid attention to its warmth in your hand, the way the shell cracks with a gentle tap, the softness of the white giving way to that rich, golden yolk inside. Maybe you grew up on eggs for breakfast. Maybe, like so many of us, you let them fall out of your morning routine, reaching for toast, coffee, or skipping breakfast altogether because the old rituals just seemed ordinary. But behind this everyday food is a quiet power that most of us overlook, a power that becomes more and more precious as we get older. I remember a morning not so long ago, sitting across the kitchen table from my neighbor, Joe. Joe is 72, a former school bus driver with a slow, warm smile and a laugh that shakes his shoulders. For years, Joe prided himself on his strong legs. These legs drove that bus through snowstorms and football practice traffic, he'd say, slapping his knees with that infectious energy. But last year, Joe started noticing something had changed. First, it was just a little stiffness when he stood up in the morning. Then, climbing the porch steps, he'd pause, grip the handrail, and take a breath before lifting his foot. His walk to the mailbox became shorter, then slower. One morning, while his wife was frying bacon, Joe confessed to me, "I don't feel steady anymore. I guess it's just getting old." I could hear the sadness behind his words, the way his pride tangled with the quiet fear of losing independence. And that morning, as the coffee steamed and the sun crept over the backyard fence, we talked about eggs. Not just any eggs, whole eggs, with their unassuming shells, so easy to forget. Joe was surprised to hear what I'd read. Eggs aren't just good for breakfast, they're one of the most complete foods for rebuilding and protecting muscle, especially as we age. I could see the skepticism on his face, the kind of look we all get when someone suggests a simple fix for a problem that feels far too big. "Really? Eggs?" he asked, poking at his plate. But the truth is, after 60, our bodies start to change in ways we can't always control. One of the biggest and least talked about shifts is sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass, especially in the legs. It happens quietly, year by year, robbing us of the simple pleasures. Getting up without help, taking a walk, dancing at a grandchild's wedding. For many, this starts with breakfast habits we don't even notice. The magic of whole eggs lies in what they carry within, a blend of high-quality protein and essential nutrients that our muscles, nerves, and even bones desperately need, especially after a long night's sleep when the body is low on fuel. An egg isn't just a source of energy. It's a compact package of what aging muscles crave most. Joe and I dug deeper, looking at what science says. The research is surprisingly clear. Older adults who eat whole eggs regularly, 2 each morning for 8 weeks, according to a University of Illinois study, regain strength, especially in their legs. The protein in eggs is easy for older bodies to absorb and use to build and repair muscle, much more effective than what you get from just bread or cereal. But it's not just protein. The yolk, often the part some people avoid, holds the real treasure: vitamin D, vitamin B12, choline, and an amino acid called leucine. Leucine is like a master switch for muscle growth. Without enough, the body struggles to make new muscle, no matter how much you eat. After 60, we need more leucine, and eggs deliver it, right there in the yolk. Vitamin D is another quiet helper, especially for those of us living in cloudy states or who don't get outside as much as we used to. It supports muscle strength and balance, and even helps the body use calcium properly for healthy bones. Many older Americans are low in vitamin D and don't know it. Eggs can fill the gap, naturally. Then there's vitamin B12. If you've ever felt wobbly on your feet or noticed tingling in your legs, you might be low in B12. This vitamin protects the nerves that send signals from your brain to your muscles, ensuring every step is confident and steady. Eggs, again, come to the rescue. Joe listened, growing thoughtful. So what? Just eat an egg every day? It sounded too simple. But that's part of the beauty. Whole eggs are affordable, familiar, and easy to make. No fancy cooking is required, and for people our age, easy is important. But the secret is in the timing. After a night's sleep, the body is in a mild state of fasting. Without fuel, it starts to break down muscles for energy, especially the large muscles in our legs. That's why so many older adults feel their legs are weaker in the morning, or struggle to get up. Eating a whole egg within an hour of waking up helps stop this process, delivering the exact nutrients the legs need to rebuild instead of break down. Joe decided to give it a try. He switched up his morning routine, boiling a couple of eggs the night before so he could eat one as soon as he got up, sometimes with a handful of spinach or a slice of whole grain toast. No fuss, no stress. 3 weeks later, I saw him mowing his lawn, a small victory in the bright morning sun. He waved and called out, "Haven't felt this steady in years." His steps were surer, his mornings lighter. The changes weren't dramatic at first, but they built up, day after day. Less wobble, less worry about falling, more confidence. The science behind this transformation is real. Eggs support the neuromuscular system, improving balance and walking control, two of the biggest worries for seniors. They're also rich in highly absorbable iron, which boosts blood flow to the legs and keeps muscles oxygenated and energized. I know some folks worry about cholesterol or calories. The latest research shows that for most older adults, eating an egg a day doesn't raise the risk of heart disease. Instead, the benefits to muscles, nerves, and even the brain far outweigh the old fears. If you're concerned, ask your doctor. But for most, an egg a day is not just safe, it's one of the healthiest habits you can start. And here's another secret: eggs are flexible. Can't stomach a boiled egg? Try a quick scramble with a sprinkle of fresh herbs, or slice it on whole grain toast. Mix it up with sautéed tomatoes or baby spinach. However you make it, what matters is making it a habit. As weeks turned into months, Joe's story became the talk of our little neighborhood. Others joined in, quietly boiling eggs, sharing recipes, and laughing about the foods they used to ignore. One friend, Linda, started calling her morning egg my insurance policy. She'd hold it up like a little trophy, proud of the small change making a big difference. It's easy to underestimate the power of a humble egg. But for those of us over 65, every small action matters. A boiled egg in the morning isn't just a meal. It's a message to your body that you're still fighting for strength, for independence, for the freedom to move as you wish. It's a way of saying, I'm still here, and I'm not giving up. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up and feel that familiar stiffness or uncertainty in your legs, remember Joe, Linda, and the simple promise of a whole egg. It doesn't matter if you eat it with toast, with a side of fruit, or straight from the shell. What matters is that you're giving your legs what they need most: nourishment, renewal, and a reason to keep moving strong. Because every confident step you take is worth protecting, and every morning brings a new chance to stand tall. Maybe it's just an egg, but maybe, just maybe, it's the beginning of getting your legs and your life back. Breakfast food 2. Oatmeal with chia seeds. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. There's a quiet comfort in a warm bowl of oatmeal, especially on a chilly morning when the house is still and sunlight has barely begun to peek through the curtains. Maybe you remember those days, someone in your family making a pot of oats, stirring slowly at the stove, the kitchen filling with the gentle, familiar aroma of something wholesome and nourishing. It's a food that speaks of home, of simpler times, and of care. But what if that same simple breakfast, made just a little differently, could help protect your legs from weakening as you age? What if that unassuming bowl, with the addition of a few tiny seeds, could give your body the strength to stand tall and steady, day after day, year after year? I want to tell you about Ellen. Ellen is 74, retired from her job at the post office, and still sharp as a tack. She lives alone now. Her husband passed a few years back, and her children are scattered across the country. She's always been independent, taking care of her yard, volunteering at the local library, and walking to the market every Saturday. But, like so many of us, the years began to chip away at her legs. It started subtly. She'd tire more quickly walking up the slight hill to her mailbox. Sometimes, stepping out of bed, her calves would cramp or her feet would tingle. She tried ignoring it at first, chalking it up to just getting older. But one night, a cramp in her leg jolted her awake, sharp and insistent, leaving her panting and rubbing her calf in the dark. The next morning, Ellen decided she needed to make a change. She wanted her strength back, not just for herself, but so she could keep living on her terms. Ellen called her daughter, a nutritionist in Oregon, who listened and said gently, "Mom, let's look at breakfast." Together, they rebuilt Ellen's morning routine, starting with the most basic food of all, oatmeal. Now, Ellen had always liked oatmeal, but she'd never thought of it as a superfood. It was just something to fill her up and keep her regular. But when her daughter explained that oatmeal, when prepared right, could help her legs recover and rebuild, Ellen was all ears. You see, oatmeal is much more than just a cozy comfort food. For older adults, it's a powerhouse of slow-digesting carbohydrates and soluble fiber, especially beta-glucan, which helps stabilize blood sugar and reduce inflammation. Stable blood sugar means your muscles are fed with a steady stream of energy, which helps protect them from breaking down after a long night's rest. No more roller coaster mornings of fatigue and frailty. But the magic happens when you take it a step further and sprinkle in a spoonful of chia seeds. These tiny seeds, once a secret of ancient warriors, are packed with calcium, potassium, magnesium, and those wonderful omega-3 fatty acids. This special blend is like a love letter to your muscles and nerves. Why chia seeds? For one, they provide the minerals your legs crave after age 60. Potassium and magnesium are critical for muscle contraction and relaxation, meaning they help prevent those dreaded leg cramps, tingles, and morning heaviness so many of us know all too well. Omega-3s soothe inflammation, which can keep circulation flowing and help tired legs recover faster. Ellen wasn't sure at first. "Seeds in my oatmeal," she laughed. But she was willing to try. She started with a simple recipe: 3 tablespoons of old-fashioned rolled oats, simmered in almond milk until creamy and thick. Just before taking the pot off the stove, she'd stir in a spoonful of chia seeds, letting them swell and soften. Sometimes, she'd add a few slices of banana or a handful of blueberries. Sweetness, yes, but also a boost of antioxidants and potassium. It wasn't a miracle overnight, but Ellen noticed something within a couple of weeks. Her legs felt a bit less heavy in the mornings. The cramps, once almost a nightly visitor, had faded into rare annoyances. She stood up from her chair with more confidence. Walking to the market became something she looked forward to, not something she dreaded. There's good science behind her experience. Research shows that oatmeal, especially when combined with chia seeds, can improve leg muscle nutrition absorption, boost circulation, and help older adults maintain muscle mass even without strenuous exercise. The beta-glucan in oats works to balance blood sugar, which means your muscles get a consistent supply of energy to repair and strengthen. The fiber helps your gut absorb more minerals, too, especially those in chia seeds. Chia seeds, though small, are mighty. Just a tablespoon or two adds calcium for bone strength, magnesium for muscle relaxation, and potassium for keeping every step coordinated. They absorb liquid and create a gentle gel in your oatmeal, making it more filling and soothing to your digestion, a bonus for anyone whose appetite isn't what it used to be. Ellen grew to love her oatmeal ritual. She'd stand at the window, stirring the pot, watching birds hop along her porch. Sometimes she'd switch it up, steel-cut oats for a chewier texture, walnuts for a crunch, and a dash of cinnamon for warmth. Some mornings, she'd make a bigger batch and store it in the fridge for a quick breakfast the next day. Her friends started noticing the change in her. "You're moving better, Ellen," they'd say at the library, or when they met for coffee. Ellen would smile, sometimes a little shyly, and tell them about her oatmeal and chia seeds, about how something so small and humble could help her legs feel sturdy and alive again. And there's something deeply reassuring about this kind of breakfast. It's not a trend, not a supplement in a bottle, not a magic pill. It's food your grandmother might have made, food that stood the test of time, gently upgraded for the years ahead. It's easy to make, affordable, and adaptable to what you have on hand. For anyone living on a fixed income, this is an important part of aging well. Good health that doesn't require deep pockets. But perhaps the greatest gift of Ellen's new breakfast was the sense of agency it gave her. Each morning, by making that bowl, she was choosing to care for herself, to invest in her strength and independence. It wasn't about perfection or youth. It was about dignity, about being able to take the stairs, about saying yes to a grandchild's invitation for a walk in the park. As the months passed, Ellen's story echoed through her community. Others tried it, tweaking the recipe to suit their tastes. Some added a splash of maple syrup, others chopped apples or tossed in raisins. They'd swap tips and celebrate little victories together, no cramps last night, or made it up the big hill without stopping. These aren't just anecdotes, they're proof that small, consistent changes matter. So tomorrow morning, as you stand in your kitchen, maybe with the ache of yesterday's walk still in your calves, remember Ellen. Think of her stirring her oats, scattering chia seeds, believing in the simple power of a good breakfast. Give it a try. Let the warmth fill you, let the nutrients do their work, and let each bite remind you that your best years can still be filled with strength, steadiness, and joy. You don't have to give up your independence or settle for slow, stiff mornings. A bowl of oatmeal, a handful of chia seeds. This could be your new tradition, your way to start each day with hope and resilience. Your legs have carried you this far. Give them what they deserve, and see just how far they'll take you next. Breakfast food 3. Bananas. There's something almost magical about a banana. Maybe it's the cheerful yellow color, the way it fits perfectly in your hand, or the fact that it peels open with a gentle snap, ready to eat in an instant. It's a fruit that most of us have known since childhood, a lunchbox staple, a quick snack before heading out the door, comfort food when we were feeling a little under the weather. But as we age, the simple banana can become something even more, a quiet hero in the fight to keep our legs strong, our balance steady, and our mornings bright. Let me tell you about Ruth. At 76, Ruth is the kind of woman everyone in her neighborhood knows. She's always been active, the first one to volunteer at church events, and the last one to leave the dance floor at a grandchild's wedding. But a few years ago, Ruth started noticing something she couldn't quite ignore. Her legs would cramp in the middle of the night, sometimes so fiercely she'd wake up gasping, clutching her calf in the darkness. There were days she felt unsteady when she first stood up, as if her body had become a little unfamiliar overnight. At first, Ruth brushed it off, Maybe she'd overdone it in the garden or slept funny. But the cramps kept coming, and the sense of weakness in her legs lingered. One morning, while chatting with her friend Martha over coffee, Ruth confessed how much these episodes unsettled her. "I just don't feel as steady as I used to," she admitted, her voice soft with worry. "It makes me afraid to go out sometimes. I don't want to lose my independence." Martha listened, then leaned in, her eyes bright. "Ruth, have you tried eating a banana in the morning? My doctor told me they're the best for leg cramps and muscle strength." Ruth laughed. How could something so ordinary be the answer? But she trusted Martha, and the next time she went grocery shopping, she bought a bunch of bananas, ripe and golden. That first morning, Ruth sliced a banana into her oatmeal, savoring its gentle sweetness. It was such a simple act, but it felt like a small promise to herself that she wasn't going to surrender to this creeping weakness without a fight. What Ruth didn't know then, but would soon learn, is that bananas are truly nature's electrolyte powerhouse, especially for those of us over 65. You see, as we age, our bodies become less efficient at maintaining the delicate balance of minerals needed for our muscles to contract and relax. It's not just about feeling energetic, it's about whether we can rise from a chair without wobbling, whether we can walk to the mailbox without fear, or climb a flight of stairs without our legs trembling. Bananas are rich in potassium, a mineral that's essential for muscle health. Just one medium banana provides about 400 milligrams of potassium, helping to keep our cells working, our muscles firing smoothly, and our nerves sending the right signals. If you've ever experienced a sudden cramp or a jerking motion in your legs, especially at night, it's often a sign your potassium levels are too low. But bananas aren't just about potassium. They also contain vitamin B6, which plays a vital role in helping your nervous system communicate with your muscles. When B6 is plentiful, the connections between your brain and your legs are strong and responsive, helping you move with confidence and grace. Ruth made her new banana habit part of her daily routine. Sometimes she ate it plain, with a spoonful of peanut butter, and sometimes in a smoothie with Greek yogurt and a handful of berries. The best part? Bananas are easy to digest, gentle on her stomach, and never leave her feeling weighed down. After just a few weeks, Ruth noticed a real change. The nighttime cramps that used to startle her from sleep became less frequent, and then all but disappeared. She felt steadier when she walked. Her energy in the morning improved, and she no longer felt as if her legs belonged to someone else. That little act of eating a banana each day gave her confidence, a sense of control over her body and her future. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's not just Ruth's story. Science backs her up. Studies have shown that older adults who regularly eat bananas have a significantly lower risk of muscle cramps, weakness, and even dangerous falls. The reason is simple. Potassium helps maintain the electrical charge across your muscle cells, keeping contractions smooth and coordinated. Without enough, your muscles can spasm, shake, or fail to respond the way you need them to. Some people worry about the sugar in bananas, but here's the truth. For most healthy seniors, a banana in the morning is an excellent choice. Its natural sugars are balanced by fiber, which helps release energy slowly and steadily, avoiding the crash that comes with processed breakfasts. If you have diabetes or kidney issues, you might want to choose a slightly underripe banana, which has less sugar and more resistant starch, or talk with your doctor about the right portion for you. What's more, bananas are incredibly versatile and affordable. Whether you live on your own or with family, whether you're eating on a tight budget or can splurge a little, bananas are always within reach. They don't require refrigeration, last for days, and need no preparation. They can be your breakfast, your snack, or even your dessert. Ruth soon became a banana evangelist, recommending them to friends at the senior center, bringing a bunch to bingo night, and even teaching her grandkids to make peanut butter banana toast as an after-school treat. It became a joyful part of her day, one small, golden step toward protecting her independence. There's also something comforting about the ritual of peeling a banana. It's a gentle reminder that self-care doesn't have to be complicated. It's about kindness, consistency, and listening to your body's needs. So if you've been waking up with heavy legs, or those unwelcome nighttime cramps, maybe it's time to bring bananas back into your mornings. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just make it part of your breakfast, like Ruth did. Add it to oatmeal, blend it into a smoothie, or enjoy it on its own as you watch the sunrise. The gift of a banana is bigger than just muscle strength or balance. It's the gift of knowing you're doing something loving and proactive for yourself every single day. It's a way to honor your body, your journey, and your desire to keep moving. Freely, confidently, joyfully. After all, you've spent a lifetime walking through storms, dancing at weddings, and taking after children and grandchildren. You deserve legs that keep up with your spirit. So tomorrow morning, reach for a banana. It's not just fruit, it's a promise to yourself that you'll keep moving forward, one strong step at a time. Breakfast food 4. Greek yogurt. There's something about Greek yogurt that feels like a quiet luxury, a spoonful of creamy, cool richness, as if breakfast could be both a treat and a medicine. For many, yogurt was a childhood staple, a simple cup pulled from the fridge on a summer day, sometimes topped with a little honey or a scattering of fresh berries. But as the years pass, and our bodies demand more care, Greek yogurt becomes so much more than comfort food. It's a daily ally for strong legs, healthy bones, and vibrant independence, especially after 60. Let me tell you about Ed. At 69, Ed is a retired fireman, a proud grandfather of 5, and a man who always believed in starting his day strong. Years ago, he was the first one out the door, running upstairs and hauling heavy gear. He never thought twice about the strength in his legs or the speed of his stride. But as his hair went gray and the grandkids grew tall, Ed began to notice subtle changes. He'd get out of bed, only to feel a heaviness in his thighs. Sometimes, his knees would ache, and his balance didn't feel as steady as it once had. Ed's wife, Marcia, watched these changes with a gentle concern. She knew Ed's pride, his stubbornness. She also knew, from her own experience, that sometimes the little things, like a good breakfast, could make all the difference. One morning, as Ed poked at his usual toast, Marcia slid a bowl across the table. "Try this," she said with a smile. Inside was a mound of thick Greek yogurt, topped with a handful of blueberries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Ed wrinkled his nose at first. "Yogurt? Isn't that for kids?" he grumbled. Marcia only laughed. "Just taste it. You might be surprised." He did, and from that first bite, something shifted. The tangy creaminess, the bright burst of fruit, the touch of spice. It was satisfying in a way he hadn't expected, filling him up without making him sluggish. What Ed didn't know was that Greek yogurt is a quiet powerhouse, especially for seniors. Unlike regular yogurt, Greek yogurt is strained to remove much of the whey, making it denser, richer, and almost twice as high in protein. For older adults, that extra protein isn't just a bonus. It's essential. As we age, our bodies naturally lose muscle mass, and our legs, those pillars of independence, are especially vulnerable. Protein helps stop that loss in its tracks, feeding the muscles that carry us through our days. But Greek yogurt does even more. It's packed with leucine, a special amino acid that's like a green light for muscle repair. After a night's sleep, when the body is fasting and muscle breakdown is at its highest, eating Greek yogurt helps the legs begin to rebuild, cell by cell, fiber by fiber. Studies have shown that older adults who start their mornings with a high-protein meal like Greek yogurt regain leg strength, improve balance, and experience fewer nighttime cramps. For Ed, the changes were slow but steady. He found that he didn't tire as quickly when working in the yard or chasing after the grandkids. The morning heaviness in his legs began to fade. His joints ached less, and the stairs seemed just a little less daunting. What's more, his mood improved. He had more energy and felt more like himself. Greek yogurt is also a champion for bones, a fact that matters more as we grow older. Each spoonful delivers a healthy dose of calcium and vitamin D, the dynamic duo that keeps bones dense and resilient. No more worrying about fragile hips or the fear of a fall. And, thanks to the probiotics naturally found in Greek yogurt, Ed's digestion got a boost too. Fewer stomach upsets, better absorption of minerals, and a gut that just felt more comfortable. If you're new to Greek yogurt, there are so many ways to enjoy it. Ed experimented, sometimes mixing in a spoonful of chia seeds for extra fiber, sometimes drizzling a little honey, sometimes layering it with strawberries or sliced banana. On days when he wanted something savory, he'd add a pinch of salt, chopped cucumber, and a splash of olive oil, a simple Greek breakfast that reminded him of a trip to the coast years ago. Marcia loved to bake, and she'd use Greek yogurt in muffins, pancakes, and even salad dressings. It became a versatile friend in their kitchen, a way to nourish not just Ed's body, but her own as well. For those who worry about dairy or lactose intolerance, there's good news. Greek yogurt is often easier to digest than regular milk since the straining process removes much of the lactose. For those who are especially sensitive, there are lactose-free versions or yogurts made from goat or sheep's milk, which can be gentler on the stomach. And if you're watching your sugar, always choose plain Greek yogurt. Skip the flavored kinds, which often hide extra sugars that can slow muscle repair. What matters most is the habit. Ed made Greek yogurt his morning ritual, sitting at the kitchen table, the light pouring in, a bowl in hand. Some days, it was his only breakfast. On other days, he paired it with a slice of whole grain toast or a few walnuts for crunch. Every day, he knew he was giving his legs and his life a fighting chance. Over time, Ed's story became an inspiration. Neighbors and friends asked about his routine, noticing the spring in his step and the ease in his movements. "It's just yogurt," he'd say with a shrug, but Marcia would smile and add, "It's the little things day after day." They started a breakfast club at church, sharing Greek yogurt recipes and celebrating the small victories. A longer walk, a climb up the stairs, a game of catch with the grandkids. The beauty of Greek yogurt is that it's simple. It doesn't require fancy cooking or expensive ingredients. It's available at any grocery store, affordable, and easy to prepare. For seniors living on their own, it's a meal that doesn't take effort but brings real results. It fits into every lifestyle and every taste. If you're feeling unsure about your legs, if mornings bring stiffness, or you worry about balance, or you're simply longing for more strength, consider what a bowl of Greek yogurt might do for you. It's more than food. It's a daily gesture of self-respect, a gentle act of care for the years you've earned and the independence you want to keep. So, tomorrow morning, why not reach for Greek yogurt? Top it with fresh fruit, nuts, or even a sprinkle of cinnamon. Take a moment for yourself as you savor the creamy spoonfuls. Let it be your small promise, a way to start the day grounded, strong, and ready for whatever comes. Remember, you deserve breakfasts that work as hard as you have. Greek yogurt is there for you. Simple, sustaining, and quietly powerful, just like the best things in life. Every morning is a new chance to take care of your legs, your bones, and your spirit. And as Ed would say, strong legs, strong life. That's how I want to keep going. Breakfast food 5. Salmon and fatty fish. Some foods seem too special for breakfast, too rich for the everyday. Salmon, rosy pink and glistening, with its savory aroma, might be one of them. Maybe you think of it as a Sunday dinner treat, or something you enjoyed at a restaurant on a rare night out. But for seniors hoping to keep their legs strong, their minds sharp, and their lives independent, salmon and other fatty fish can become an unexpected daily ally, especially in the morning hours, when your body's been resting and is ready to be restored. Let me tell you about Bill. Bill just turned 73, and if you ask his friends, they'll say he's lived his whole life like he's training for the Olympics. He was the guy who walked everywhere, rain or shine, summer or winter. He mowed his own, cleaned his gutters, and prided himself on never missing his morning walks at the park. But a couple of years ago, Bill noticed his pace slowing. His legs felt a bit heavier, and his usual long walk left him more tired than invigorated. Then one frosty morning, he slipped on his driveway, landing with a jolt that rattled him to the core. Thankfully, nothing was broken, but the fall left more than just a bruise. Bill's confidence took a hit. He found himself hesitating at curbs, second-guessing his steps, worrying that another fall could mean the end of his independence. His daughter, Anna, worried too. She started coming by more often, bringing groceries and helping around the house. But Bill missed the feeling of being in charge of his own life. One morning, Anna brought breakfast: 2 slices of whole grain toast topped with flaked salmon, a squeeze of lemon, and a scatter of fresh dill. "Try this, Dad," she said. "It's not just fancy, it's good for your legs." Bill raised his eyebrows. "Salmon for breakfast?" Anna nodded. "Trust me." At first, the idea seemed strange. But as Bill took his first bite, the flavors won him over. The rich, buttery salmon, the crunch of toast, the zip of lemon. It felt hearty and satisfying, but not heavy. And as the days passed, Bill started to notice a change. He felt a little stronger, a little steadier on his feet. The heaviness in his legs seemed to lift. He could walk farther without needing to rest. He even joked with Anna that he felt like he was getting his young man's legs back. What Bill was experiencing wasn't magic or wishful thinking. It was the result of one of the most powerful, scientifically proven foods for seniors: fatty fish. Why is salmon, and its cousins like sardines and mackerel, such a game changer? It comes down to nutrients that older bodies crave but don't always get in enough supply. High-quality protein, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and, most importantly, omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. As we age, our bodies slowly lose muscle mass, especially in the legs and hips. This process, called sarcopenia, is a leading cause of weakness, imbalance, and falls in seniors. However, research shows that seniors who eat fatty fish at least twice a week retain significantly more leg muscle than those who don't. The protein in salmon is highly digestible and rich in amino acids, providing the essential building blocks for muscle repair after a night of fasting. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But the true star is omega-3. These special fats reduce chronic inflammation, a silent thief that steals strength and mobility as we grow older. Omega-3s have been shown to help muscle fibers recover and rebuild, and to increase insulin sensitivity in the muscles, making them better at absorbing fuel from the foods you eat. That means more energy and better performance, just from what you put on your plate in the morning. Vitamin D and B12, also abundant in fatty fish, play their own crucial roles. Vitamin D supports muscle and bone strength, making your legs sturdier and more resilient to injury. Vitamin B12 helps maintain nerve health, ensuring that your brain and muscles stay in sync, every step, every climb, every dance at a family wedding. For Bill, adding salmon to his breakfast was more than a meal change, it was a lifestyle shift. He tried it smoked on a bagel with cream cheese and capers, grilled with a side of roasted sweet potatoes, or simply pan-seared and paired with sautéed greens. When salmon was too expensive, he swapped in canned sardines, mackerel, or even a high-quality fish oil. The results were always the same. He felt more energized, his legs steadier, and his confidence slowly returned. He wasn't alone. Anna shared articles from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which found that adults over 65 who ate 2 servings of fatty fish each week kept 27% more leg muscle mass than those who relied only on red meat or skipped fish altogether. Even more compelling, those same adults had a 36% lower risk of falling, thanks to better balance and stronger legs. If you're new to the idea of fish for breakfast, don't worry, you don't have to reinvent your morning. Bill sometimes flaked leftover baked salmon onto scrambled eggs or stirred sardines into a warm bowl of oatmeal with herbs. On busy days, he'd eat a few slices of smoked salmon rolled up with cucumber and a dollop of Greek yogurt. The possibilities are endless, and the preparation is as simple or as creative as you like. What if you're not a fan of fishy flavors? Try milder options: young salmon, trout, or even blending a small amount of smoked salmon into a spread with avocado or low-fat cream cheese. And if you truly can't tolerate fish, talk to your doctor about a high-quality omega-3 supplement. The goal is to get those healthy fats and muscle-supporting nutrients into your day, especially in the morning when your body needs them most. And here's another important tip: don't forget about variety. Sometimes Bill would swap in mackerel or sardines, both packed with similar nutrients and often more affordable than fresh salmon. Canned fish is a pantry hero. Shelf-stable, ready when you are, and easy to mix into salads or whole grain toast. There are practical concerns, too. If you're watching your budget or worried about cholesterol, know this: the benefits of fatty fish, especially for seniors, far outweigh the old myths. Modern research shows that the natural fats in fish protect your heart, reduce inflammation, and support not just your legs, but your brain and eyes as well. For Bill, the return of his morning legs was worth every bite. He regained not only his physical strength but the sense of freedom that comes with it. He no longer hesitated at the front steps, and no longer dreaded slippery sidewalks. He went back to his park walks and even joined Anna on a hiking trail one crisp autumn morning. She snapped a photo of him at the top of the hill, arms wide, smiling into the sunrise. "Thanks for breakfast," he told her, laughter in his voice and gratitude in his eyes. Who knew it could make this much difference? Maybe you've never thought about salmon or sardines for breakfast. Maybe it feels too fancy or unfamiliar. But sometimes, the key to staying strong isn't about doing more but choosing better. With every forkful of salmon, you're giving your legs a gift. The ability to carry you where you want to go, to support you when you stand up, to keep you steady in a world that doesn't always slow down. So tomorrow morning, think about Bill and yourself. You deserve mornings full of possibility, not fear. You deserve legs that let you live on your terms. Try a little salmon, a bit of mackerel, and a slice of sardine toast. Let your breakfast set you up for a day of strength, steadiness, and independence. Because no matter your age, every step you take is worth celebrating. And the power to take it. Sometimes, it starts with what's on your plate. As we come to the close of this journey together, I want you to take a moment and truly feel what it means to stand strong, to rise each morning with legs that carry you confidently, without hesitation or fear. The foods we talked about: eggs, oatmeal with chia seeds, bananas, Greek yogurt, and salmon, are not just simple meals. They are your quiet allies, ready every day to help rebuild, strengthen, and support your body from the inside out. I know aging can bring challenges, and sometimes it feels like the strength you once took for granted is slipping away. But remember, change is still possible. It starts with small choices: what you eat, how you move, and how you care for yourself. You are not powerless. Your legs, your balance, your independence, they can be nurtured and preserved. Imagine waking up tomorrow, not with that familiar heaviness, but with a renewed sense of energy and hope. Each step you take can be lighter, steadier, and more assured. You deserve to live each day with dignity and freedom, to do the things you love, and to feel proud of your resilience. So, what have you learned today that will help you protect your legs and your life? I invite you to share your thoughts below. Your story might inspire someone else to take that first step toward strength. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can keep moving forward, stronger, healthier, and more confident with every sunrise.